Today we're going to be showing you how to make a port template. There's a couple reasons why you might have to do this. One would be if it's a head that we haven't seen before in the shop, or more commonly if it's a head that has any kind of port work done to the exhaust ports. The best thing to use is a file folder. If you hold it diagonally, that'll give you the length that you can cover the head. And a ball peen hammer, a small ball peen hammer. I believe Harbor Freight has a relatively inexpensive one. Cut your file folder so it's close to the size of the exhaust surface on the head. Press down in one area of one of the outer bolt holes and rub it with your finger or your thumb until it makes an impression. Hold the folder tight and then just tap it gently with the ball peen hammer, and that will start an impression of the bolt hole. As you keep tapping, it will actually perforate the folder, and if the hole doesn't fall out, you can easily pop it right out. Put a header bolt in there to hold it. Gently push down and make sure the folder is tight on the head, and find an opposite bolt hole. Same procedure, mark it with your thumb or finger. Tap it out with the ball peen. And pop out the hole. Put another bolt in. Here we're using 3/4 header bolts. They are not quite long enough to snug down without some type of a flange on, so we put some washers on it. Tighten them down, that way you can get some tension on the folder and that'll keep it tight. And then you can start on your first port. It's the same as the bolt holes. Put some tension on the folder and tap around the perimeter of the port, and it will at first mark it, and the more you keep tapping it will eventually perforate it. You don't have to tap hard. We don't want you to damage your expensive aluminum cylinder head. Move on to the next one. That one actually just about fell out. And then finally move on to the last one. We've obviously made it look a slight bit easier here because we have a head on a headstand. It's somewhat more difficult with the motor in the car, but honestly it's a 5-minute job. It's very easy. Just take your time. We do like you to do as many bolt holes as possible. 2 is the minimum. The more bolt holes we have, the better, the easier it is for us to reference it. You don't have to knock these bolt holes completely out, just as long as there is some type of an impression. Undo your bolts. Pop out any slugs that are hanging in there. And there you have a perfect representation of your port. Now, we do like you to mail those to us. We do not like you to fax them, because a fax will distort your template. It'll make it longer. So label it and stick it in the mail and mail it to us. And that's it. That's how to make a port template.